As promised, right now we are joined by a forward for the LA Galaxy. 109 caps for Mexico. Mexico's all-time leading goal scorer. The Gold Cup MVP and Golden Boot winner. 17 goals in 21 matches last season. He scored the game winner versus NYCFC on Sunday. LA's got a big one. LA at Charlotte, Saturday night. Javier Chicharito Hernández is my guest. Javier, it's great to have you on the program. How are you?
Hi, very good. Thank you for making time for me.
Well, thank you for making time for me. Let me ask you, I wish we had even more time, but I want to ask you about that goal you had Sunday against NYCFC. It was a tie game going into the 90th minute when the ball found you in the box and you scored. Can you take me through the goal? What did you see?
I mean, what I see is a great opportunity to score, and what I thought was that the defender was going to think that I'm going to shoot first time. So luckily he just dived and did the tackle. And then luckily I just faked the shot, and then I just took my shot and it went through. Even though a defender of them just touched a little bit, but thankfully the goal went back to the net. And yeah, I mean, for me it was a very important goal, but especially for everyone in this organization, the stadium, the fans, the crowd. It was a full stadium. Like you said, it's a very tough match to play against the actual champions. They were playing very good in the CONCACAF Champions tournament. They were so tough, so very good team. And yeah, thankfully in the last minute we could break them.
Chicharito joining us. All right, so you arrived in MLS back in 2020. So you're fully settled into the league, but what was the transition like for you to come from Europe and play here?
I mean, a normal transition, like every transition I had since I left Mexico. When I went to the Premier League, I had a transition. When I went to Spain as well, when I went to Germany, then when I went back to the Premier League, then I went back to the La Liga, and then I came here. I mean, all the transitions take time. You need to adapt yourself. You need to learn about how the league is, the difference of culture as well, cities, everything. I think it's just adaptation, what it takes. So yeah, the transition was complicated, like all of them. But as well, I need to speak about a massive factor, not only for me, for you, for the whole humanity. COVID hit all of us. When I arrived here, 3 weeks later that I arrived here, 3-4 weeks, COVID hits, the first pandemic, the pandemic starts, and yeah, everything changed in a way, and it was very difficult not only for me, just for everyone in this world.
You bet. Javier Chicharito Hernández joining us. Now, you're going to face Charlotte on Saturday, and the expectation is they're going to have roughly 75,000 fans for that match.
Amazing.
Amazing, right? That would break an MLS record. It would be the biggest soccer match in the world this year. How much are you looking forward to that matchup?
A lot. We want to play against a new organization that is going to be a good city in the East, and like you said, with 75,000 around fans just supporting them and in a full capacity, all that atmosphere. I think it's going to be incredible. It's going to be great, and hopefully we can just take the 3 points. Even though we're the away team, that's our main goal. That's our mindset. To go over there, try to beat a very hard opponent that they're going to be very hyped because they're going to play with their fans for the first time. I think it's going to be a very interesting match.
I'm curious, you've played in front of some enormous crowds with the Mexican national team and throughout Europe. What is the energy like when you're playing in front of a massive crowd like that? Do you get any extra energy from that?
I mean, yes, of course. It's more people, more energy. Of course, it's a different atmosphere when you play without people, like I mentioned it when COVID hit, in the bubble with few fans. But yeah, of course, it's changed in a way, but it's more energy. The situation here is myself and my team and everyone else here in LA Galaxy. We can manipulate that energy in our favor, to take it in a gasoline type of mode that can bring us up together, and we can just elevate our performances and try to put the best out of ourselves for the benefit of the group, of the team.
Now, Javier, you have been a star and a celebrity for a long, long time. I mean, you grew up like that. I want to ask you really quickly about your family and your grandfather in particular. He was a huge star, and he passed away nearly 2 years ago. I know he meant so much to you. Many people knew him as a legend, but what was your grandfather like as a person and even as a grandfather?
I mean, he was, he still is, even though he's not here with us with his body, but yeah, he was a huge person, influence, and and most of everything in my life, because he was my second father. I spent so much time with him. He was my second hardest judge, in a way, and I can say, or critic in my house, because the first one was my father. Then himself. He played soccer. He went for a World Cup. My dad did the same. So, he was such a very important part of my life as well. In that transition that we spoke before, that it happened when the pandemic hits and we need to stay home in quarantine and stuff. My granddad died. I couldn't even go to Mexico to his funeral or say goodbye or stuff like that. He passed away. So it was a very hard moment for me, and it was the first time that I faced death with a beloved one, like so close, because my other two grandparents died, but I didn't spend that much time, the parents of my father. But with the parents of my mother, my granddad and my grandmother, I've been growing up, and I've been spending so much time since I came to this world. So yeah, he's been huge, he's been massive. I just repeat that in general because I cannot just mention one, two, or three things. He was with me in every step of my youth. And not only in the soccer steps, even in my life, been together since he died 2 years ago. So, yeah, I miss him so much, and when every single time that I speak about him, he just touched my heart, touched my emotions, and just remember him more deep every time that I speak about him.
That's beautiful, and I appreciate your thoughts very much. Let me ask you one last thing. Your former Galaxy teammate, Jonathan Dos Santos, said that you can do a great American accent. What is your reaction to that? And then how good is your American accent?
Right now. Oh, Jonah. First of all, I want to say hi to him. He's in that period of transition in a new club, in a new league in our country, in Mexico. I hope they can take the best out of him, because he's an amazing player, an amazing and talented human being, too. So no, I cannot do that. We were joking because sometimes we both try to like compete who does the better accent, and that's why probably he told you that. But no, I don't have, as you can tell, I don't have any accent, even though I sound sometimes very, very funny in the way that I speak, but I don't have American accent at all.
Dude, you actually sound great. LA is at Charlotte on Saturday. It is an enormous game. They're expecting 75,000 plus for that game. He's a forward for the Galaxy. Once again, Mexico's all-time leading goal scorer, a Gold Cup MVP, a Golden Boot winner, and this is how you close the show. Javier Chicharito Hernández, my guest. Javier, thank you so much. Great to meet you. Great to have you on the show. Have a great weekend.
Jim, such a pleasure, and thank you very much for giving me this time.
My man, my pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. Believe that. Chicharito, nothing lives up to the hype, but that did. You want to talk about it? You want to talk about a guy who's got it? Man, this is I wanted him to close the show because you want to close the show, but I wish the show were not coming to an end so I can just sit here and sit back and have all of you say how awesome that was, because it was that awesome.